I am a daughter of a physically disabled mother. She wasn't always this way. This happened about 7 years ago. One minute she was independent. The next minute, she couldn't walk without help. It all happened so fast that I still wonder how we ended up here. How I ended up here. They call us heroes. The word is printed on coffee mugs and shared in gentle posts on social media. But here, in the quiet of 6 a.m., the word feels distant. I don't feel like a hero. I feel like I am about to gently unravel. I'm going to share with you a day in my life as a caregiver, a day that finds me at my breaking point. This isn't a story with 5 easy steps to avoid burnout. This is a story about what burnout truly feels like in the stillness of a home. This is for every person who has offered a soft smile when they wanted to quietly weep, who has felt a surprising flash of frustration followed by a deep wave of guilt, and who has laid awake in the deep of the night, wondering how much longer they can continue on this path. If this is your story too, then you understand. The exhaustion is a deep and quiet sea. It's a kind of tired that sleep does not wash away. It is the steady 24/7 rhythm of being responsible for another person's world. Today, I am inviting you into a normal day, a day that is meant to be a good day, and that, perhaps, is the most difficult part to hold. Section 1. The morning grind. The day begins at 6 a.m., but I haven't truly slept. My mother was awake 3 times in the night, not from pain, but from a need to find the TV remote, then for a glass of water she could have reached, and then simply because she felt anxious. Her disability may keep her in bed, but it is her codependence that keeps me awake in the quiet hours. My body is heavy with exhaustion, and my patience is a thin, worn thread. First, the kitchen. Coffee for me. A quiet ritual of survival. I make a mental note to clean the kitchen I've let go and the dishes I slightly let pile up. Then the gentle task begins, her medication. It's a delicate puzzle each morning. This one for her heart, this one for the pain in her nerves, and this one for the anxiety that has her calling my name. It's meant to help, but on most days, it feels like trying to fill a bucket that has a slow, steady leak. She is on a special diet, but today, she has a gentle request. "I want pancakes," she says. The unspoken hope hangs in the quiet air between us. I remind her it isn't on her plan. She begins to explain how her body just needs them, how other food is too difficult to eat. And so, what do? I make the pancakes. I am turning pancakes at the stove while answering work emails on my phone and packing lunches for my children. My husband left long ago. This isn't a morning rush, it is a quiet chaos. And the guilt is a constant soft hum. A feeling that I am not quite succeeding at anything. By the time she is done, there is syrup on her floor, on the sheets, and she just looks at me, waiting. So I clean. I clean the floor, I change the bedding, I wash the dishes, all while she quietly flips through television channels. And a deep sadness finds me. This woman is my mother. She taught me to be independent. Now it seems she is unable to do much for herself. It is a change that is difficult to comprehend. Section 2. The Physical and Emotional Tug-of-War. At 7:30 a.m., the next gentle challenge begins, helping her wash and prepare for the day. Her physical therapist provided a list of movements she can and should do on her own. But today, she resists. "I just can't today," she says. "Maybe tomorrow?" I just need more time letting her full weight rest against me. But I notice her hands are steady. Her mind seems clear. So I become her arms, her legs, her gentle motivation. I lift, I turn, I dress her, and my back, which carries a constant ache, sends a soft jolt of pain up my spine. This pain has become my new normal. It's a quiet truth that so many caregivers carry health problems, back pain, headaches, high blood pressure, as we slowly trade pieces of our own bodies each day. By 9 a.m., she is settled. And now my other day begins. My job. I work from home, which sounds like a blessing, but often feels like a quiet burden. I have a meeting in 30 minutes. Laundry is piled high, and the grocery list sits on the counter, a silent reminder. I'm not multitasking. I'm gently failing at multiple things at once. In these moments, I am not a focused employee, nor a good housekeeper, nor a patient caregiver. I am just a person spread too thin. I join a work call. 10 minutes in, she calls out, "I need you." I press the mute button, my heart beating a little faster. "What is it, Mom?" She wants me to help her with something. I help, unmute, and offer a quiet story about the dog making a noise. This happens 3 more times. By the end of the meeting, I feel utterly spent. A wave of irritability washes over me, and I send a work email that I immediately wish I could take back. The stress quietly seeps into every corner of my life. It is a slow, unfolding struggle. Section 3. The Afternoon Maze. Lunchtime arrives at 12:30. Another quiet challenge. Encouraging her to eat the healthy food she is meant to have. I feed her while I stand and eat my own yogurt over the sink. It is a strange, shared meal. While she eats, I am on the phone, trying to schedule her physical therapy, and she sits beside me, whispering all her fears. "He's too rough with me. It doesn't seem to work. I don't feel like going." I am fighting for her to receive support that she resists accepting. It is a logistical puzzle that can feel overwhelming. After her medication, she finally drifts off to sleep. This is my 1 hour of stillness, my golden hour. And how do I use it? I scroll through my phone and see pictures of my friends on vacation, at happy hour, living lives that seem to belong to another world. And a quiet, unwelcome feeling of jealousy surfaces. It's a difficult emotion to hold. I love my mother, I truly do. But I dislike this life. I dislike being held within the walls of this house. I dislike that my world has become this quiet, repeating dream. The guilt that follows that feeling is heavy. How can I resent my own mother? But the resentment is there, a small ember that I am always trying to keep from glowing brighter. And then the one question I try to keep buried softly emerges. Why me? As an only child, there is no one else to call. There is no sibling to ask for help, even for a single day. The people who call me a saint do not understand. I do not wish to be a saint. I just wish for help. The feeling of being completely, utterly alone in this is a profound weight. Section 4. The Evening Collapse. 5 p.m. The children are home from school. The quiet pressure of the day gives way to a new kind of sound. I am helping with homework and soothing sibling disagreements, all while Mom is asking when dinner will be ready. I must cook 2 completely separate meals, one for my family and a special one for her. The rhythm of need is constant. And then, unexpectedly, something shifts. We are looking through an old photo album, and she points to a picture of me as a little girl resting in her arms. She looks directly at me. Her eyes are perfectly clear. She smiles. "You were always my girl," she says. "So good at taking care of everyone." And in that one moment, all the exhaustion, all the resentment, it seems to dissolve. This is why I do it. It is a deeply powerful feeling. Almost. But just as quickly as it came, the moment passes. and the praise begins to feel like a gentle enclosure. The exhaustion returns, a heavy tide, and it brings a dull headache with it. The rest of the night is a soft blur of cleaning, getting the children to bed, and then the final task, Mom's bedtime. Evening medications, finding the right show for her to watch, and at last, tucking her in. Why can't she just be normal? I feel guilty for thinking. It is 9 p.m. The house is finally quiet. My husband is watching television. The children are asleep. I should be resting. I should be sleeping. But I cannot. My mind is still turning. Did she take her heart medication? What if she calls for me in the middle of the night? What new, quiet need will tomorrow bring? The anxiety is a steady hum. I am too awake to sleep, so I do what I do every night. I open my phone and quietly scroll through caregiver forums, reading stories from strangers who are living this same quiet life. It is the most sorrowful and understanding community. I have survived another day. I love my mom. I know she didn't ask for her disability, but I feel myself fraying at the edges. What about me? I always think. Section 5. Naming the monster. Exhaustion versus burnout. What I have just described, that was not a crisis. That was not an emergency. That was a Tuesday. And it is more than just feeling tired. There is a clinical name for this deep weariness: caregiver burnout. It is a state of complete physical, emotional, and mental exhaustion from the immense and quiet stress of caring for someone. It is what happens when your body and mind have been running on empty for so long that you begin to gently come apart. The physical signs are quiet but persistent. It's a chronic fatigue, insomnia, headaches, or stomach problems. It's getting sick more often because your immune system is worn down. And the mental signs are even heavier: the irritability, the anxiety, the difficulty concentrating, the feeling of being sad or hopeless. When you hear that studies show between 40% and 70% of family caregivers have clinically significant symptoms of depression, it all begins to make a quiet sense. We are so focused on the health of our loved one that we forget to tend to our own. And this burnout, if left unaddressed, deepens. It follows a quiet, downward path. The first stage is just a gentle warning. You feel drained. You begin to lose interest in things you once enjoyed. You feel tired, but you tell yourself to push through. The second stage is when you feel more anxious and irritable. You might begin to withdraw from friends. This was me, sending that email, the moment when resentment began to take root. The third stage is a state of survival. You feel detached and completely enclosed. Your own health may begin to decline more noticeably. You might feel numb or even resentful toward the person you are caring for. This is the stage of quiet desperation. The final stage is full burnout. It is a feeling of total depletion. You feel hopeless, like you cannot cope. You may even begin to neglect your duties because you have nothing left to give. You become a hidden patient yourself. Section 6. The unspoken emotions, guilt and grief. But even knowing the stages of burnout does not prepare you for the quiet emotional storm that comes with it. And the most persistent, pervasive feeling of all is guilt. It is a quiet presence in the room with every single caregiver. There is guilt that you are not doing enough. Guilt that you feel impatient or frustrated by their constant needs. Guilt that a small, quiet part of you just wishes for it all to be over. Guilt for wanting your own life back. Guilt for even thinking about putting yourself first. You feel like the most selfish person in the world for wanting to see a movie or have lunch with a friend. And that guilt, if you let it, can slowly consume you. And just beneath all that guilt is a profound sense of grief. It is a grief for a loss that is happening while someone is still alive. What saddens me the most is grieving the woman my mother once was and seeing who she is now. She was a force, independent, vibrant, the one who taught me everything. Now I look at her and see this quiet helplessness, this learned dependency, and this soft expectation in her eyes as she waits for me to do something she might still be able to do herself. You grieve the relationship you wish you had, one based on mutual support, not this one-way current of need. You grieve the life you have lost. You are in a constant state of quiet frustration, and it is so very tiring. I pray every day just for strength that never seems to come. For years, I have heard people use the airplane oxygen mask analogy. You must put on your own mask first. And for years, I thought that was the most selfish idea imaginable. My job was to take care of her. But I was so very wrong. It is not selfish. It is survival. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Acknowledging your own needs isn't a luxury. It is a quiet, simple necessity. I have just shown you my breaking point. I have shown you the quiet cracks in my foundation. Now, I would like to hear from you. For all the other caregivers, the quiet heroes, what is the most difficult part of your day? What is the one thing you wish other people could gently understand? I invite you to share your story in the comments below. Let us break the silence together. Let us turn this space into a large, honest, and supportive sanctuary. Because the first step to healing is knowing, truly knowing, that you are not alone. And if this story felt real to you, if it felt as if I was speaking your own quiet truth, I hope you'll consider subscribing. Let us continue to have these important conversations about the things we don't always have the courage to say out loud. They call us heroes, and perhaps that is true. But maybe a hero isn't someone who is endlessly strong, who never feels tired and who never wants to quit. Maybe a hero is just someone who feels as though they are breaking into a million quiet pieces, but who gets up the next morning and chooses to put themselves back together, piece by piece, to do it all over again. If that is you, I see you. You are not alone, and it is entirely okay to not be okay.